Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. This is bringing back Basic Gray. Basic Gray only does fabric now. They don't do paper anymore. And Bourbon Creek Crafts here on YouTube and Stampin' Cat on Instagram. The three of us have gotten together and said, we're going to do a collaboration on the 18th of the month where we show you what we made with our Basic Gray. We're not trying to smash it. We're just trying to enjoy it instead of hoarding it. I have some letters. I punched them out. I used a G about 4 years ago, I think, and haven't used a letter since. I think it's time to start doing something with these. I'm imagining chopping them and using the scraps for ephemera. I also have a bunch of these cards. I'm sure these were Basic Gray. I don't know. They must have been if I put them in here. And I'm going to chop these up and use some of them. Loving Spring isn't going to get used, but I like the back. So I'm going to take some of this mess and that's picked through and that I've been avoiding and make some ephemera this month. It won't be any crazy rocket science. I mean, I'm going to take things like the letter K, and I'm going to chop this, and then I'll have a nice piece right there to use. And maybe I'll keep part of this. So I'll have some fun scraps. Maybe if I have a big enough piece, which I don't think I do, I could punch or die cut out of it. Maybe some tiny stars. And then I thought I would use some of these tags that are in here that I didn't use. Get them punched out, ink the edges, get them ready for actual fun. I'll be back. I filmed that intro before I got sick. So I had started this and I had big dreams and I had my little tray to work on at night upside down. And then I got sick. I apologize for my voice, still a little scratchy, but what I thought I would do is just show you what I was making and it'll be next month's video. We'll put it all together. This is an example. It's one of those cards that said Loving Spring, which I've made spring cards before and I don't really use them enough. And then I took a sticker from something else and a little scrap and a stamped image and I put it together. It's a pocket for a journal and it has this, so it'd be a double pocket. Then this was, it was a tag with the tag thing on the end. They were really popular for a while, like you were going to run your ribbons through and there's a whole bunch of them and I'm sick of them. They make me crazy. So I cut the end off and inked it. Tried to get it kind of the same shape as this. Our friend Nancy was playing with watercolors and stamps. So she did watercolor samples and then stamped on them. How cute is that? And she did the eyelet and everything. And then I had ribbon that was laying around that matched. So then I have a cute little tag that says Delight. And this is a good way if you have a paper pad or a piece of paper that you like, you can make your own ephemera. Absolutely. This one was a little tag that was just weird, right? And I put some stars on it and then you could stamp a little image. I inked the edges and put some string. The tags aren't super thick and they're not really decorated. So getting them ready to actually use them. Okay, this one, it was an O. And I filled in the middle with something else just so it wouldn't have a sag. But you can see it has the actual Basic Gray pattern. And then this was a UFO that was sitting around that had butterflies. And I put the Let's Do It on there. So now it's a tuck spot for a journal page. Like right here. And then I'll probably glue it like this. It might go this way. Too soon to tell. Depends on the page. Green and blue. I like those colors. Use them a lot. Okay, then this one, just super junky and fun. This was part of a letter. This was a stamped image, and I put some washi tape back there for interest. Then I had this wood butterfly, and I stitched it on with this thread, because that's what I had handy. And then there was a little piece of yarn on the table, and I was like, oh, there we go. So a fun little cluster where I was just using things up. And I think this thing was one of those tags, too, like this circle. This one, I don't know where it's going yet. I don't think it's done. Ribbon was on the table, so I used it. This was part of a letter, this polka dot part, and this one too. And then I put it through the tag. The last one that I haven't showed you, this one, April showers bring May flowers. Yeah, I'm not going to use that. So I made a pocket. I have some washi across here that pulls out some of the same colors. And then to affect the quality of the day, that is the highest of arts. And that's Thoreau. And I think that's from our friend Nancy's stamp. And then this was a sticker that I'd been moving around and it was sitting out, so I used it. So again, taking those basic gray papers and using, Zuzi, I don't know what's going on, using those so that they tie into your projects later, right? You have ephemera with this, or this could go on a card. This could go on a card. This is probably a little thick. This butterfly is really thick. That's just what I wanted to show you. And what I did was I got my little tray and I got in bed at night and I was just playing. I was punching things out and inking the edges and trimming off the little nubbies and all that. Because very often if you leave that stuff, then when you go to do your project, you're kind of tired by the time you get to the end of it, or maybe just me. And I don't want to punch out all those tags and clean up the edges. I just wanted to play with them. I might do this again another month, just because I got sick and it was kind of a bummer. I imagined making a pile of ephemera, but I did show you some ideas. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out Bourbon Creek Crafts and Stampin' Cat. The links are down below. And then come back again next month to see what we make with Basic Gray, each month on the 18th. Thanks for spending time with me. Bye-bye.